I know.
Hey, look what I remember.
Oh, wonderful.
There. Wash this.
God damn it! Do we actually have glasses or cups or something to sample those? Did we get any mixers, or are we just kind of going with whatever the fuck we're doing?
Okay, hold on. Tell me what we actually have, and I will give us cups and mixers.
I don't know what else. The rest of it comes from Giza.
Do we have tequila, Giza?
We may.
Okay.
If my source comes through.
I understand. Give me minutes. I'll be back.
Status is bringing beer.
Oh, that's nice.
At some point.
Excellent.
I don't know who's sun-kissed.
What? Oh. It's a mixture. It's officially a mixture.
I don't know if it's supposed to be alkalized or if he was giving me an orange soda.
I don't know. It's a mixture now. But I can see Ahama is procuring.
I don't know if this panel is by the alcohol.
Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you know, I like orange soda. But I don't think I've ever told Alkali I like orange soda, so there's a very good chance this is his orange soda.
You don't know that.
I don't know.
That's 50 shot.
I'm not going to be that type of dick. I have to sleep in the same room as him tonight. Like I could be that type of dick.
Just give him an orange soda later. Just be like, sorry.
Have you ever been really thirsty and you're like, man, that drink would really hit the spot? You get a nice cool drink out, you sit on the counter, and then you turn around and somebody's drinking it? Yeah, that's not the good thing.
Put this in front of you, Boozy. You finish that?
Okay. I'm going to let everybody know a secret. How many people in here have had a White Claw? Because I know they've been a mean drink, right? Like, the kids are all drinking the hard seltzer.
No, you like it.
Back in my day, we drank whiskey at 16.
No. Back in your day, you had Bartles and Jays.
Well, back in the day, we were just negging the wine from our parents' thing.
But, like, you know, I remember when wine coolers came out and they were a big thing, and your mom would let you get a sample of them at the Sam's Club, and then somebody would be like, that's alcohol, and your mom would be like, yeah, but they shut the fuck up. So, I've never had a wine cooler. Like,
yeah, we not think of cups. That's what
like when you reported, I'm getting White Claw.
Yeah. What do you think I was going to get?
My immediate thought. Well, because we were having a discussion.
Did you think I was going to come back with Bud Light?
And you were like, what should I get? And I'm like, maybe get some beer. I don't know. And you're like, what type of beer? And I'm like, Kroger sells Miller High Life. And then I hear from Alkali, Giza got a 12-pack of White Claw. And I'm like, that is not beer.
No, I never said it was beer.
And Mike's Hard Lemonade. Mike's Hard Peach Lemonade.
I had that. That's good.
Ooh.
That's good. No, that's good. I promise.
That's the good stuff.
I didn't fucking know you were a 16-year-old. I sat down at a panel at First Square, and I walked in 3/4 of the way through, and everybody else had been drinking. And Status Spirit looks at me and says, here, Boozy, have this. It's made in the same town I'm from. And hands me a lemonade hard seltzer. And I looked at it, and then turned and handed it. I said, does anybody like hard seltzer? And somebody at the end said, yeah. And I said, what do you have down there? They go, all we have down here is PBR. And I'm like, I will fucking trade you. I will trade you. Just you give me the PBR, I'll give you the hard seltzer. The PBR tastes bad. I know, it's supposed to. it's supposed to taste like shame and poverty. That's the brand.
I like your Rousey shirt, by the way.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
That's
Still don't know where the fuck Alkali is. We had him for a moment.
He was going to get mixers.
No, he was going to go see if we needed mixers after someone said, we may have tequila. By the way, panel starts in 1 minute. How are we still at we may have alcohol for you?
Do you guys even have cups?
Yeah, no, I said
No! I asked about those. I've been been here for 20 damn minutes waiting for these.
This panel is we may have alcohol and we may have alkali.
Like, welcome to Libation Appreciation. I'd appreciate it if we had some.
I found puffs, ice, and an orange. Shut up.
Where's the orange coming?
There's nothing to the orange coming. This is Libation Appreciation.
Darn it.
I drink like an asshole.
Okay. We're still waiting on the liquors arrived. All right. Holy shit! Like right at 8 o'clock, the liquor, the cup, the ice, the mixer all show up in the fucking room.
So this is Siyahama.
Bring it in for just a second. Bring it in. We have a thank you.
Yep.
Go ahead,
This is
Lisa.
my friend Siyahama. He is a leopard. He's the best leopard at this con, and I'll reimburse you later.
Canada, aren't you? Yeah. The Canadian goddess booze!
Yay! It's so right.
I know some Canadians, and I'm going to tell you it normally goes the other way around. Going home, they stop at the duty free right there at the border and get booze.
Yeah, thank you so much. Seriously appreciate it. Okay, I think is about. Oh, number one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Libation Appreciation. I'm starting it off even though it's Alkali's panel because this jackass has to get the cups out.
Yep.
Here's the thing to keep in mind. This is technically not a charity panel, but it's going to be a charity panel. You know why?
You know me well. You went to the shelf under the bottom shelf and found me tequila. Thank you.
You got a rum which I've never had before.
Show
it's
me.
called Mr. Boston.
Oh, I know what that rum is. We have found rum brand rum. I am so excited.
It's like college! So here's the deal, while this is technically and technically not a charity panel at the same time, everything's a charity panel. And everything's a charity panel for one reason only. The wonderful people from the Pip Squeakery, stand the fuck up.
Oh, they're here.
Are trying to raise funds so they can complete something they just started, which is a new 8,000 square foot facility for all of the wonderful animals you have been seeing out there this weekend. That is a hefty goal and construction has begun. Here's the second part. There is an anonymous donor who is matching the first $50,000 raised at AnthrOhio. If we raise $50,000 this weekend, they get $100,000, which will likely pay for the construction of the 8,000 square foot facility.
Yeah. Some of the other things you might not know about this charity takes this so seriously, and I've worked with a lot of charities. This is not a normal case. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you guys have a permanent vet on site now?
We do. We have a staff vet, so the animals just have to go down the hallway instead of actually leaving.
That is such a huge thing, not only for the charity themselves, but for the quality of life of the animals. I salute you guys. That is so cool. Thank you for caring as much about those animals as you care.
I'm an old fart and I hate things young people enjoy. I've never had White Claw hard seltzer.
You've never had White Claw hard
Never.
seltzer.
I have taste, sir.
Well, in that case, I think that we need to start this off properly for a proper taste test of White Claw hard seltzer. Because I've only ever had one and it tasted like piss and shit fucked. So, I will gladly do a taste test of you of two different, no, not yet. You don't get your nice things. You can't have nice things.
2017
too.
That's the
I mean, like, presently something other than, I've known this man a while. If after the panel you want to place your genitals in the hat, you can do that.
The hat is an innocent and it will not be sullied. The person under the hat is a horrible human being.
Buy him a drink first.
Buy him a drink first? Literally look at the table.
I gotta say, this is Coca-Cola courtesy of Bahama. It's Canadian Coke.
Now, Giza,
I know it's got French on it.
Giza, do you like White Claw?
That would be a strong word.
Okay, alright, so you drink White Claw.
No, I don't.
Oh, perfect.
Wait a second! Your bald ass was told, hey, why don't we grab some beers? You went out and got us White Claw,
yes,
which is the opposite of beer.
Yes.
And you don't even drink White Claw.
Yes.
Fuck you!
I want you to call a client who doesn't listen to his lawyer.
Our first taste test leaving. Show me the hat. Where's the hat? Tip it towards me. Tip the hat. I hear change in there. Perfect. Right here. Have you ever had White Claw?
Oh, sure. No, come on. Alex, everybody. I'm not the only lawyer on stage now.
And of course, what panel wouldn't be complete without somebody who I know has probably never even tried White Claw but barely drinks. Your charity liaison, Jake the Bunny! Now, this is part of the actual panel. I do know that for a very long time you weren't drinking at all, and you never, really guys, never force a drink on somebody would you care to have a drink.
Actually, my...
But the drink will be White Claw to start.
I never had White Claw. I might try one for the first time ever.
It's delicious.
Would you like a White Claw?
I would love one. You can also make Jason come up. He's back.
Where's Jason? I got just enough for one. Jason, come on up.
Oh my God.
All right. Here's how this first part of the panel is going to work. We are about to taste Blackberry White Claw, and we are going to go around in a circle. You purchased it. You will go first. You have one sentence to describe the drink. One sentence. Thank you, my friend. I'm so sorry about that. I was not looking at that. You have one sentence to describe the drink, and as always, something you need to know just for drinking. When toasting, Canada has it right. Toasting is cup to the table, cups together, make eye contact, cheers.
Oh, you're not too happy about that.
Cheers. One sentence to describe, go. Giza!
It is watered down Cruzon Blackberry.
Jake!
Melted plastic and a Sprite left on a dashboard?
Nailed it!
And turn into a chameleon.
That is self-explanatory.
I brewed booze for boozy.
It tastes like something my grandmother would fix.
Fair enough. Yay, Gimli! And
Oh
my God. Jason, one sentence to describe.
Early college, before I learned.
Alex, your one sentence.
I had a better time in law school.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's kind of like cough syrup, but like when you're really, really sick and everything tastes like
Did I tell you about the icing incident? I went to law school a little older than some, like not amazingly older, I'm not that, but a little older than some of my classmates, and that's when I learned about icing. Do you know what icing is?
Oh, yes.
Somebody hands you a Smirnoff Ice, you have to take it and chug it in one go. So we're at a club one night, and there's like all these 22-year-olds, I'm like 25, there's all these 22-year-olds said, hey, and one of them goes, hey, I go, yeah. They go, you've been ice. And I go, what the fuck is this? You gotta take it in, pound it. I go, okay. And they turn around, everybody, Jack been ice, Jack. Where'd it go? As I'm standing with them, people are like, that was really fast. I'm like, I have been drunk for a while.
Our second taste test, and I'm so sorry for this, is the one I have had. Lime. I'm a tequila guy. One of my favorite flavors in the world is lime. I love it so much. Everyone ready? Skull. Wait, is that? It's pineapple, right? All right, so I've never had this either. Cheers. It was green. Oh, God. What do you got?
Trick-or-treating gone wrong.
What do you got?
Like one gummy bear and a gallon of seltzer.
What do you got?
I'd rather eat the stuff that we feed the guinea pigs.
It tastes like a rancid, bubbly strawberry.
I just found out what happens if Hawaii and New Jersey had a booze baby. Guys, give our charity a huge round of applause.
It's gluten-free, though.
So that's unfortunately why I know about these drinks. I am a huge fan of the game Slap Cup. In fact, we play Slap Cup very regularly at my home. Well, Diana, that is Beardo the Magnificent, John the Human, their wife is the medical gluten-free. Thank you, whoever said that. So they decided one day that they would like to play Slap Cup, and the only booze we could play them with was 32 cups of White Claw and a shot of tequila in the middle. Diana, a little wonderful, demure, just such, she's a nurse, she's so caring, she's so wonderful, and apparently a god at Slap Cup! So after my 8th cup of whatever this is, and by the way, we combined the flavors, not into one cup, but just everywhere. Me and John both looked at each other and goes, all right, we need an alliance. One of the most horrific games of that I have ever played, and I've hated White Claw ever since. But the pineapple put a new cherry on the top of that shit cake.
Do you remember the time you introduced me to Slap Chop at First Squares?
Slap Chop? Yes, I do.
Hi, big talk. Slap Chop.
Slap Cup.
Apparently, White Claw is way stronger than we thought.
Did he say you're gonna love these nuts? I hear my Vince fans back there.
I gotta love my nuts.
Damn it. Oh, sorry.
My apologies.
No,
My
Slap
apologies.
Cup.
Yes.
When you introduced me to it at First Square, do you remember the first round? Like, I totally destroyed the guy on my right, and the second round, I was too drunk to play it.
That sounds about right. That sounds like Slap Cup.
It's such a fun game, though.
Before we get going, and this should have been the very first thing that happened, but we got excited about White Claw, which is just a misnomer immediately.
How this is the only time that's ever been said.
Right. We just want to go over the most important thing about drinking, and that to me is always know your limits. Myself and Lucy over here are very close friends, and we have an ability to each other that every one of you should have a friend for. If this man ever tells me, hey, Alkali, maybe you should go to bed.
Stop drinking.
Or that. I immediately stopped drinking because you know what? If you're not used to drinking, let me make this very clear. Being drunk sucks. Being drunk is no one's goal. You don't want to get sloppy drunk, you don't want to get sick, you don't want to get hungover, and you definitely don't want to vomit. And we're going to go over why you don't want to vomit in a second. You want to be buzzed. That is the goal of drinking. We just started off by pounding a few White Claws. I have a little buzz going right now, not because of the alcohol, but because of the flavor. I want to vomit, and my body thinks that's food. There it is. It is so unbelievably important to know your limits. Don't ruin your night. Don't challenge people to drinking. Don't try to outdrink another person. There is nothing fun about that. There is nothing cool about that. This is the stupidest PSA ever, but it's true. There is no reason to ever challenge somebody to drinking. Drinking is a social activity. Please treat it that way. And really quick, and this is a medical thing, who knows why you should not induce vomiting to somebody who is too far gone? There are a lot of people out there who think, oh, you're drunk, you should puke it up. Why do you not induce vomiting?
If you're too far gone, it's in your blood, not your stomach.
That is 90% of it. There's another 10%. This is kind of disgusting. You know what it is. What is it?
Aspirating it into your lungs?
Yes, but that's not the one we're going for. It's a very common one, because that one is a mistake. If that happens, that's horrible, that's a mistake. This is disgusting. Who knows what butt chugging is? Okay, that's fine. What is happening is it is being introduced into your bloodstream very quickly. You know where else that happens? Your esophagus. When you vomit, you are taking that alcohol that you are probably ultra-saturated in and pulling it up through a part of your body that is so permeable that is going to get you drunker faster. There is no difference, other than the anus, between vomiting with a stomach full of booze and butt chugging. If a person is experiencing alcohol poisoning and you induce vomiting, it is a recipe for disaster. So, if nothing else, if you learn nothing from this panel, do not induce vomiting to somebody who you are worried about alcohol poisoning. Alcohol poisoning is a job for I hate to say this, you should actually contact a medical professional. It is no joke, it is not funny, and it is not fun. I have gotten there myself before. Luckily, I had two very knowledgeable roommates who not only knew how to handle the situation, but knew how to handle me. I am insanely lucky that I was in that situation, and that's the last time I'll be serious during this panel. Guys, please, alcohol is a toxin. You are putting a toxin into your body, never forget that. That being said, under controlled circumstances, with the proper amount of thought into it, being buzzed and hanging around your friend is one of the most magical experiences, and that's what this panel is about. I'm going to shut up now and pass it over there.
So the takeaway on that is your mouth and your asshole are essentially the same thing.
Especially if you're a comedian.
And therefore, rim jobs are just another form of French kissing. God, it feels good to know you're all over 18.
I like to think that somewhere there is a research paper that is like absorption of alcohol through anus versus esophagus.
Oh, you think that's not that? Hey, number one, that is a paper. I've read it. Yes.
I was a test subject. Bring in the funnel! One of the things we want to talk about here is, look, we know what alcohol is, we know what it does, so let's talk about some of the more fun experiences. I'm not talking about blackout drunk, that's no fun. I'm talking about that good time. When you were drunk. We're going to start with the panelists, and then we're going to go out to you for something called 10-second stories. So we're going to start up here, either one of you. A really fun time. You got a minute or two that alcohol helped the situation. Made it more fun. The alcohol was the center point, and you were the journey on the ride. Not even close. You were along for the journey on the ride. Close enough.
I don't even need most business trips. Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay. Sales guys start buying drinks. There's a company I did business with that, I shouldn't say the name of the company, but the name of the company rhymes with the word drunk for a very specific reason.
Oh my God.
And it's great because their main competitor never buys us drinks, so it got to the point where this company, when I was engaging the other company, would send a rep by in the evenings and get me drunk. And that was what I need, because the first company, I don't know what the problem was. They were like teetotalers. Except for the closing tech.
Boozy?
I want you to remember that every word I'm about to say is actually true. There is no embellishment whatsoever, okay?
Okay.
Are we all in agreement? Because I'm dead serious. There is no embellishment whatsoever.
I think I know which one this is.
So there I was, pantsless on the roof of a house with a midget named Larry, watching a punk rocker piss on a chalk swastika on the street below as the police tried to put the handrail back up, and a group of naked people danced in the living room through the second floor window behind us, while a group of drunk people sat on the staircase singing Irish drinking songs as the Lexington, Kentucky police tried to ram the door in.
That sounds like
2004 was fucked up, guys.
That sounds like a completely out of context answer to Wheel of Fortune.
That was.
He was like, I like to solve the puzzle.
I mean, honestly, like the next day we were all kind of going, did that really happen? Like, yeah. And then then I'm looking at Larry, who was the pantsless little person on the roof with me. And I said, Larry, where was the swastika? He goes, in the ball sack, drawn on the street in chalk. And I'm like, and why weren't the police handling that? Because they were trying to kick in the door. And why couldn't they do that? Because we were singing the Old Dun Cow on the steps. You mean we were? No, you and I weren't wearing our pants. We were on the roof. Why did no one stop us from going out on the roof on our pants? Because we had shirts on, unlike the people in the living room of the apartment who weren't wearing anything as they slow danced. How did we get out of there? Well, we jumped off the roof and somebody threw us our pants, and then we ran to the gay bar.
Well, you gotta blend in somewhere.
And from there we caught a cab back to campus.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'm going to try this Mr. Boston. Oh, Mr. Boston Silver.
I have had Montezuma before. You are about to be in for a treat because that and this is going to be very similar.
I don't like the smell already.
Yeah? What smell? It just smells like rubbing alcohol, dude.
You know what? Okay, the taste is not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting like gin, which I can't stand. This I could actually drink a lot of. Someone turn me on my side when I'm done.
Sounds good. I went to NIU, Northern Illinois University, and I was on the computer science floor for some fucking reason. I don't honestly know what happened there. And we had a gentleman named Mark. Nice. His name?
Tell you how this panel goes for me. Like, he's very serious about we're going to talk about this alcohol, and we can mix it with it, how we can do it, and I'm going to give you rules. And he's over here like, I'm going to tell you how I drink and have fun. And I'm sitting here like, fuck man, I was in a frat. This is just going back 20 years for me.
Genuinely, with how similar we perform, our ability to go about creating the panels is wildly different. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, buckle up, Buttercup. I got a second lager coming.
Sounds good.
Lucy, this is the first time I've ever seen you drink beer.
You haven't been paying fucking attention.
I mean, I may have drank a little whenever I've been around you, so there is that.
Yeah, no, you... real quick,
absolutely.
He's just saying I have drank a little when I've been around you. You're the only man I know who gets shit-faced and says, let's set shit on fire! And then, hold on, and then does it, because I know a lot of people who actually say it, but you're the only one who then builds the fire.
All right, first, I'm a man of my word. Second, I'm an Eagle Scout. I know how to light shit on fire. I know how to improvise. They taught us that in the Boy Scouts.
You got your Alky badge when you were 18?
No, wait. They taught us that in the Boy Scouts in the 90s when they weren't railing against gays. So, joke's on them. I burn shit now.
Speaking of Boy Scouts, who has a knife? Anyone have a pocket knife?
Okay, here's a new lesson for drinking. When the guy with booze is like, so speaking of this, who's got a sharp knife for me? Don't give him the knife! I can count on all 4 of my fingers the number of times this has turned out well.
I think there's one stuck in the ceiling over the exit.
Nice. I am a professional chef in my mind.
All 3 of my fingers tell you how many times this has turned out.
Be warned, that's the animal rescue knife.
Yeah, please drink from it. Drink from it. Go ahead, take a big sip. You didn't listen to them, did you?
No, to be warned, that's the animal rescue knife.
How many guinea pig abscesses have you?
So congratulations.
Not any of those.
Look, it's alcohol. It's sterile now.
Thanks for cleaning our knife.
Oh, did you clean it up?
No, you just did.
I got a bottle opener for some reason, and I love it. I love that. However, I do want to point out I'm drinking from a can.
I don't care. It's a nice part.
This Eagle Scout came prepared. I got one on my keychain. Oh,
I got that same one.
All right. Before we lose control of this panel entirely,
no, we lost control 5 minutes ago.
you've heard some of our drinking stories. We're going to play a game. It's called 10-second stories. I'm going to pick a few of you. Here's what you got. You have 10 seconds to give us the story of the first time you got drunk. The first time you had a drink. We're looking for first, but you only have 10 seconds. There's a reason I do it like this. So if somebody can figure out how to explain their first encounter in 10 seconds, raise your hand. Go. Everyone, stay quiet for this. And the person talking loud and proud. Make sure everyone can hear me.
My 21st birthday, I went over to my former roommate's apartment, and he bought me a 40 MGD. I drank it, and I went in to take a piss, and he comes over, and he came over, looked at my dick as I was pissing, and said, "You did it! You broke the seal!"
Standing. Yes, go right ahead, loud and proud.
Friend's party had 4 Long Island iced teas. Lady jilted me at the last minute, so I was forced to drive home in that condition.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Right over here, right in front. Go ahead, my dear.
Picked up Dad's beer, got one sip, heard him coming around the corner, so I slammed his fresh beer down on the table. Then I smacked it over to try to hide that. There was beer everywhere. Something gone wrong. He helped me clean it up. He felt terrible I had done it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Then you got away with it. Right here, my dear.
I was 7. I thought it was grape juice.
Well done. Right here, 10-second story, go.
And they gave us communion. It was real wine, and we had all the wafer crackers to go with it.
Oh,
Jesus was there first.
She thought it was great. She's like, oh God, I remember that now.
All right, that's just a really fast one to counter off that. I did not know this was a law. I bet you did. I went to a Catholic high school. And while in that Catholic high school, in order to do the announcements, we had televised announcements. I've always liked being an MC and announcer, so I went out for being the announcer for the school. To do that, you needed to be part of the library club. The runner of the library club, we're not going to use his name, but he was an elderly brother of the Christian faith. And after I had graduated, we came back for a reunion of the high school, and they were still around, and we were always good friends. He was a genuinely good guy. He's like, oh, hey, we're going to go hit this thing. Why don't you come with? And they get into the car, and as we're driving along, I'm not liking his driving, and he goes, well, I had a little bit to drink, and I am very not okay with that. I am annoyed, I am angry, and I am elated when the siren comes behind us. And then bro gets pulled over. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. The cop comes to the car, opens. Now, bro is wearing the black frock, the white collar. They are in full brother mode. Looks at the cop, and the cop goes, sir, do you know I pulled you over? And he goes, yes, but you are not allowed to give me a ticket if I am drunk on sacramental wine. And the cop stopped and nodded and walked away. I'm not happy that he did that. That is is not okay in any sense of the word, the fuck was I proud of you. But seriously, no joke. Never drink while driving. You are putting other people in danger, let alone yourselves. Don't do it. Ever. 10-second story, so I want to do a few more in the back over here.
So I was 17. I broke into my friend's house, cleaned their kitchen, made cookies, and then mom came home.
I'm going to need you to stop confessing and crying.
She was perfectly fine with it, and I didn't have to follow with me.
Okay, so first time I get drunk. Well, I had a little beer and then I killed 40 people.
Few more. Over here, blue scarf thing. Yes.
Africa 2018, 5 margaritas and Century walk straighter than I do.
That is wonderful. All the way back over there standing against the wall. Yes.
Alright, I was 18, first time drinking with people over the age of 21. They got to choose what I drank. Drank banana schnapps mixed with tequila. And then I woke up the next morning vomiting all over the floor with hot wings and pizza. And beat up too.
Hey, wait, I got a question. Was it your floor or your friend's floor?
My friends at least.
Not your problem.
I want to point out something that was just raised by that story, okay? If you're younger, you may think your friends who are 21, 22 years old know what they're talking about when they say this shit tastes great. I am here to tell you, your 21-year-old friend has no fucking clue what they are talking about. They are putting shit in a cup and seeing if you like it.
Yes.
Was it 99 bananas?
Yeah.
It should tell you something. Then immediately I heard the words, I was 18, I was drinking with people who were 21, they put banana schnapps in a cup, and the first thing I was able to do was say, it was 99 bananas, wasn't it? Yeah. You know why? Because it's the cheapest, god-awful schnapps on the face of the fucking earth, but it's strong.
Yeah.
You can like that fire.
When I was 21, younger, much dumber me got drunk off of an entire bottle of Concord wine that I bought at the Red Fair. The headache was next level. I didn't puke, but I had the worst headache ever.
I got better than that. Straight shots of Everclear.
I learned that.
And not that pussy 90%, pardon my language, but at 90% shit they sell out. No. Original Everclear.
Antifreeze toxicity. You're from Kentucky. Where's the moonshine?
Say what?
You're from Kentucky. Where's the moonshine?
Have you had Everclear?
Moonshine. And I'm not talking about the moonshine that you're gonna. No, I'm talking about the real moonshine. It's it is one of the very few things that I can say that there is more subtleties to that drink than there are to tequila. A good moonshine, a real moonshine, yes, it's going to get you messed up. But honestly, there are levels to that. I have had some of the best drinks ever, just straight moonshine. Everclear, and let me make this perfectly clear, at 95% is what it used to be, right? Was it 98? What is it? Is that did they used to do? I'm sorry, I'm not talking about proof, I'm talking about actual. So it's 195, right? Okay, so divide it in half and that's how you get the alcohol content, which is insane. There's no reason to drink that, ever, literally. What you are doing, when you drink alcohol, there's a burn. Everyone knows that burn, right? When you drink Everclear, that burn is really pronounced. You know why? That's a chemical burn. You are literally damaging yourself for no reason other than, I want to get drunk quicker. Would you like to see another way to get drunk quicker?
Well, actually, in my defense, it's all I had.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case.
Speaking of getting drunk quicker, I learned the hard way. Do not mix Benadryl when you are going to drink.
True.
I took it because I was sitting around cats, and I had a beer, and it was just
that's actually a great point. It's a great point for alcohol safety. Don't mix anything if you're going to drink. If you are on a consistent medication, do you know what you need to ask your doctor? How does this interact with alcohol?
Yeah, seriously. Well, we went over some of the fun moments, we went over some of the stories. Now we're going to talk about the other side of it. You're 18 and drinking 99 bananas. One part of this panel had, hi Ed.
Hey Ed.
What's up?
You meant 21.
If you add 3, everything's 21 if you're bad at math.
I love how Ed thinks we managed his God's liability.
I like how he turned around and left, so he just realized it was a lost cause.
I liked how I started with one joke, like, no, I'm going to just go right into a different one and just fucked up the whole punchline. Alright! We were talking about 99 Bananas College, so I'm going to start this one out with this. I have a college-level bottle of tequila right here, which is fun. I love tequila. I love tequila in most of its flavors. I've had Montezuma's Revenge before, and that is definitely what this one is called, because this is a nice, cheap tequila. Now, would I recommend any of you drink this? No, because I want you to like tequila. How many people in here do not like tequila? Raise your hands.
Not anymore!
No, that's fine. Put your hand down only if... I'm sorry, never mind, I apologize. How many of you don't like tequila and have only really had it once or twice, possibly even in college? So a lot of the hands stay up. There's a reason you don't like tequila. This is tequila-flavored booze. This has impurities in it. This is agave. They used the agave plant. They made a tequila. They distilled it once, and they bottled it. It's tequila. Technically, it's tequila. I enjoy it. I enjoy tequila. But that's not tequila. Tequila is another one, like your boozes, like some of the things I've seen you drink. It does have levels. It has taste profiles. The tequila I choose to drink is called Cabo Wabo Blanco. Cabo Wabo, thank you. I appreciate it. That is my sipping tequila. That tequila, when mixed with nothing, ice and a twist of lime or a twist of orange, gives you every flavor hit of that agave. You actually get to taste it like you taste a good scotch, with a very earthy flavor coming at the beginning, a little bit of acidity, the lime balancing everything out. Tequila is an amazing drink, but unfortunately, and this includes me, a lot of us tried tequila for the first time in college and probably drink something like this. And the reason you know that you drank a bad tequila is 2 things. 1, how many of you only drank tequila your first time having it? You only drank tequila your first time?
Yes.
Okay, were you hungover the next day?
What?
Were you hungover the next day?
No.
No. Who else has had tequila? Only tequila. You? Were you hungover the next day?
The story I told was tequila mixed with banana.
I apologize. Straight. My apologies.
That's good.
Yeah?
Straight tequila with lime, first college party ever. This hot girl lines up 10 shots with salt and lime quarters and says, let's do it. I finished all 10 of them. I went to bed at midnight. I didn't wake up until 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next day.
How'd you feel at 4 o'clock in the afternoon the next day?
Terrible.
Okay, there it is. That's the one I was looking for. There's a reason they felt terrible. College?
Yes.
You were drinking college tequila. You were drinking this. Remember how I said impurities? Would you like to know the secret to how... I have a feeling a few people in this room think I have an ungodly liver. Think I have some special way of drinking that lets me drink and still function the next day. Would you like to know the secret to that?
Good booze.
Not good booze. Tequila doesn't have sugar in it. Tequila is agave nectar. If you just drink tequila, now don't get me wrong, you can go overboard and you can still experience it. But as long as you are sane about it, you will not get a traditional hangover from tequila. And that's how I've been able to do this all these years. Tequila, in purity, will not get you hungover, because what's getting you hungover is dehydration and the sugar that is being put into your system. That is how I'm able to accomplish the stupidity that I do at conventions. Tequila is an amazing drink, and I hope that all of you give it another chance one day. I had bad tequila, I gave it another chance, it is now my favorite drink. Yeah, I mix it with a few things now because I'm getting older, but that's my pitch. I really hope all of you give tequila just one more chance. If you hate it, try a decent one. Trust me, there's a chance that you might find something you really like. It's a beautiful drink, especially when done just over ice with a little bit of citrus. That acidity really helps.
What's the name of that tequila again that you recommend?
Cabo Wabo Blanco is a $30 to $40, depending on where you're at, sipping tequila. Oh, and no tequila is a shooting tequila, unless you feel like it. I mean, that's one thing. Tequilas are meant to be sipped, just like yours. So sip those. All right, I'm done ranting.
There's water outside, right? Yeah. Can somebody go get me a cup of water before I start talking?
Oh, good call.
Oh no, that's not like for hydration purposes.
Oh, are you good?
Okay. That's for, hand me 3 cups.
Gotcha.
That's for me to show these people how to properly drink. No, it's got to be cold water.
Alkali.
Yes.
What do you think about mezcal?
I have tried and enjoyed mezcal, but I think this is just me being a snooty piece of shit. I love my tequila. I don't even like aged tequila because I don't like barrel aged. I like them. I would prefer my blancos.
See, I'm the other way. I like mezcal.
For a good reason.
Yeah.
While I'm waiting for the water to make its way up here, how many people in here have had a whiskey? Woohoo! How many people in here have mixed your whiskey with something? How many of you know you're going to hell? What type of whiskey have you had?
Anybody?
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. What type of whiskey is a Jack?
It's bourbon whiskey.
Is it?
No.
Is Jack Daniels a bourbon whiskey?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You done fucked up because it's not.
Jack Daniels is a sour mash charcoal filter. Bourbon actually has a very specific definition. Bourbon whiskey is the drink of America, by the way. Bourbon whiskey is whiskey that is made with at least 51% corn mash, not a sour mash, and is aged in a charred virgin white oak barrel. It's why you see so many things are like bourbon aged beer and stuff like that. It's because they only use those barrels once. As a matter of fact, most bourbon barrels, the moment they're done, get sold to Scotch distilleries to age the Scotch. Bourbon's my drink of choice.
It's a good drink.
It's a wonderful drink. What is the difference between a bourbon and a straight bourbon? A bourbon can be a blended bourbon. And do you know when it says bourbon 7 years on the bottle? That just literally means the oldest bourbon in that blend is 7 years old. What is the difference between a bourbon and a Kentucky bourbon? A Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey must be aged at least 4 years within the Commonwealth of Kentucky in a virgin white oak barrel before being done out. How many of you drink a whiskey and mix it with like Coke? What whiskey are you drinking that you mix with Coke?
Fireball?
Yes.
Fireball? You're going to special now.
Fireball is one of those things I don't drink anymore.
Let me put it this way. Most of the reason that a whiskey is being mixed with a Coke or a sweetener or any type of mixer is because you're drinking a lower quality whiskey. And when I say lower quality, I mean normally it's less aged or it's a blend. It's much harsher. It burns a lot. It's not smooth at all. In those situations, cutting it cuts the burn.
Yeah.
And it cuts the harshness and the smoke on it. I drink Booker's single barrel. This is a $60-something bottle of bourbon whiskey made in Kentucky. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon. This bottle right here actually has a batch number on it, as well as the exact age of the barrel. 6 years, 4 months, 6 days. This was in the barrel before it was done.
Amazing.
What's the name of that again?
Booker's.
Yeah, Booker's is solid, dude.
The other ones are Blanton's single barrel. Blanton's is actually really Blanton's is a good one, although Blanton's is more of a novelty one because they have pewter horses on them and things like that.
Oh, interesting.
Do you put ice in a bourbon or a whiskey?
No.
No, fuck you. If you do that, you're going super special. Because it melts and it dilutes it. You know how you cool it and unlock the flavor of a whiskey?
Probably.
No, look what I'm doing. Best with limestone water, by the way. You get a little bit on your finger and a single drop.
You're ridiculous. I love this.
And each one, swirl it.
Oh, swirl.
That opens the flavor. And now try your whiskey, gentlemen.
Can you wash your hands or not wash your hands?
Yeah, this is always so good. Alright, just to let you know what we're smelling right now, this smells like fucking cherry wood. Like, it's just an outstanding bouquet on this thing. I fucking love it.
I gotta say the after, you know, I don't know if aftertaste is the right word, but like it
The afterburn.
It's lovely.
Yes.
It lingers. I just kind of feel like
This is actually a pretty smooth one. It has a little bit of burn on the backside.
No, I feel like vapors in my mouth. They're lovely.
That's good. That's good. Again, it's the notes. Like I just said. So, if any of you don't know, the reason there are so many glasses out there, for the most part, the reason glasses are so variable is because some drinks you want us to be able to smell the bouquet out of. Some of them are built to be cooled faster, so stuff like that. So it actually is important. If you have a favorite drink, do yourself a favor and look up the proper glass to drink it out of. And it's not a lot, but you having a favorite drink might actually notice the difference.
And I'm gonna tell you, you asked about whiskey. Irish, Scotch, Bourbon, Sour Mash, Tennessee, Rye. I know all of them. Bourbon's still my go-to. But when you learn about those, like Alkali sitting there saying Cabo Wabo, and then there's Pascal. You learn about all those different levels of those drinks, and you learn how to appreciate them. Now, it's like $60 a bottle, though, and that's that's with me knowing a master distillery and the distiller that makes it. So what happens, has anybody here ever heard of Kentucky Tavern? Kentucky Tavern's like $15 for a fifth. It's horrible fucking bourbon. It's a Kentucky straight bourbon, it's 4 years, it's just terrible. Mix it with Coke. Have you ever heard of Kentucky Gentleman? Kentucky Gentleman is $7.50 a fifth. It is terrible. If you drink it straight, you will not have a good time. Please, for the love of God, mix it with something.
Is that one level?
Now, I say that, and I say you're going to help. What's up is there's a lot of cocktails that you make with whiskey. The Manhattan, whiskey sours, mint juleps, although I believe they're an abomination upon God and man.
I apologize. Where are you from?
Kentucky.
You're from Kentucky. Could you please give us the proper recipe?
Certainly.
Thank you.
I have, by the way,
bring it in for this.
I have the best mint julep recipe in the world. Okay. So, what you got to need is you got to get yourself a good single barrel bourbon aged no less than 7 years. Alright? And you're going to want some ice. That ice is going to need to be made from a limestone spring flowing from a cave, typically around the Nile region of Kentucky. You're going to want some fresh picked mint. Alright? And you're going to want some simple syrup. You get that simple syrup by processing down some sugar and making it, boiling it up with some water into a simple syrup. Now, what you do is you get yourself a silver cup. It has to be pure silver, not sterling silver. Sterling silver, well, that's for the poors. And the mint julep is the drink of the gentleman. Now, you, and by you, I mean one of your many manservants, for you do not dirty your hands with such endeavors, wearing your white linen suit, will take these ingredients into the kitchen. And you will place in that cup the mint leaf with the ice, the crushed ice, and you will take a single silver spoon, you will crush that mint leaf on the side of the cup while pouring in that simple syrup, and then you will top it up after it gets about a quarter full with that rich bourbon whiskey, and you will stir it up with that silver spoon, tapping it exactly 3 times and placing a sprig of mint on the top of it. Okay? Maybe add a little bit of cool limestone water just to unlock that flavor.
And then you go and you sit on your porch overlooking your vast spawns of land as the sun sets over the tobacco fields, and you raise that silver cup to your mouth and then fling it into the goddamn field and call for the bottle of bourbon, because no true Kentuckian drinks a fucking mint julep. That shit's for the tourists.
No.
Not yet.
A few weeks ago, my doctor said you need to take more fiber. And so he said, start taking fibers every meal. And it's kind of my evening meal, so I'm going to try a thing I've never done before.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, there is no
place in hell for you.
This is the worst book you know ever. Oh my God, I did not expect it to fall.
Not kidding, there was a part of me that while I was looking at Boozy in the situation thought, I'm going to turn back around and this room's going to be empty.
This is actually really good.
There's no fucking way.
Try it.
Are you tricking me?
A Citrusil Cosmopolitan?
Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
When I finish this drink, my colon will not be wrong with me. Oh my God, colon. I will have to please colon in this con. Ask the space shuttle.
I'm not kidding. That tastes like rum and sherbet. What the fuck?
Which brings us to what is a good final point.
Because of
we have
double
covered
decision.
drink responsibly. Drink to enhance a good time you're already having, not to have a good time.
Thank you.
If you can't have a good time without drinking, I've got news for you. You probably do have an issue. Drinking should be something you do to enhance a good time you are already having, not so you can have a good time. 3, know your limits, listen to your friends. If your friends are with you and they say, hey, maybe you should stop. You should stop. You've been drinking. They probably know a little better than you. Number 4, don't listen to people who may not be your friends. Meaning, if you don't want to drink or if you don't feel like another drink and somebody says, oh man, come on, tell them to go fuck themselves. Anybody who's like, no, you got to drink to have a good time, isn't really worried about you drinking. They're worried about getting you drunk, and that's a worrying proposition.
Now it's a really good time for the con chair to come and say, yes, let us be very serious after drinking rum and sherbet.
Yeah. and finally getting to that point, as much as I joke about the proper way to drink whiskey, as much as I like jokes about the proper way to drink tequila, here's the #1 rule. If you're going to drink and you're doing so responsibly with friends and having a good time, drink what you want to. Every year in Kentucky there is the Kentucky Derby. Natives of the area, we just throw Kentucky Derby parties because much like mint juleps, that horse race shits for the tourists. And at these parties we would all get together and we would get shit-faced. And one year a friend of mine who had inherited his grandfather's house, by the way, let me tell you, no better idea in the world than giving a 20-year-old a house. Oh, Jesus Christ. Was throwing a derby party. We're all over there drinking. We walk into the kitchen. There is a gaggle of, we assume, 18 or 19-year-old girls standing around a blender. Now, at that point, I had been working on riverboats for several years and been lying about my age in bars all up and down the Mississippi. So I had become a pretty experienced drinker.
1920s, yep.
And as I was standing there, and I looked at them and I said, what are you fixing? And they said, oh, we're fixing margaritas. And I said, okay, well, I'll have one when you're done. And I said,
I can't wait to hear their recipe.
And then they brought me their margarita, and it was brown. And I said, They said, "En Cuervo." And I said, "So these are just tequila and ice?" And they said, "Yes, Michael, you do understand there are more ingredients to a margarita than tequila and ice. What you have made is a tequila slushy." And they said, "Oh, give it back here, we'll try again." I'm like, "I did not say I would not drink it." And you know what? Strangely enough, I discovered that even tequila slushies work.
It's true. I will sit up here and preach the purities of tequila. I will sit up here and tell you that I enjoy this bourbon, which, by the way, out fucking standing. That I enjoy my straight tequilas, that I drink most of my alcohol straight, but one of my all-time favorite drinks was one of the drinks that created First Squared. First Squared, the convention that I run, for those of you who don't know, I used to run a fur convention in Wisconsin that was based off of my friend who lived there. After Gay Pride every year, we would have a barbecue at their house, and I was the grill master. And they would bring me drinks, and one time, they brought me a glass. A full glass of booze and an on-fire shot that they threw into the glass, handed it to me and said, "Chug." And like a responsible adult, I said, "Okay."
Was that a flavor drop?
Yes.
Yes. That's the drink I got banned from the gay bar.
Are you fucking amazing?
The same drink.
Holy shit! It was Jaeger, Everclear on top. I'm trying to remember what the float. Amaretto. Thank you. So the glass is amaretto, a shot glass full of Jaeger, and floated on top.
No, the glass is beer.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Listen to them.
Glass.
I apologize. Listen to them. They are correct. It's a layered shot. It's amaretto. No, Jaeger, amaretto, Everclear. If you ever need to know how to float, floating means making a layered shot. The easiest thing that you can do, get a cherry with a stem. This is very hard to do. Practice it if you want to impress your friends. This will work. Take a shot glass, get a cherry. Put your heaviest liquid on the bottom. Grenadine, Jaeger. You can actually get a chart online that will tell you every booze is. There's a number that's assigned to them to show you what floats on what. When you're on to the second thing, put the cherry halfway into the drink and very, very carefully pour your next alcohol directly onto the cherry. What you're doing is you're dispersing it. You're taking that pour and you're not having it hit the booze. It's hitting the cherry and dispersing. It will sit right on top of the other. And Bit had done this with, like you said, Jaeger, amaretto, and a thin layer of Everclear, which they then lit on fire. Brought it out to me, dropped it into a tall pint glass of beer, and I chugged it. And it tasted like Dr. Pepper.
It does. It tastes exactly like. Now here's my experience with flavored Dr. Pepper. Became my favorite drop shot to do at a bar called Triangles in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice!
Until I dropped it too hard into the glass one night, broke the beer mug, and then flaming booze ran. The owner banned flaming shots the next day. At that location, he didn't ban it at his other bar, Teddy Bears.
You are psychotic.
Update on this fiber rum and coke.
Okay, update on the fiber rum and coke first.
Starting to gelatinize.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish what I started, but I might wind up on a Chubby Emu video. So.
Again, no Chucky. For anyone who is inspired by this panel and thinking about doing a lit booze, this is insanely important. Alcohol burns at a very high temperature. You know what that means?
Fire.
The flame in a lit room is invisible. You cannot see the flame of booze on fire in a well-lit room. I cannot stress this enough. There is no part of you that is ever going to drink a on-fire shot for the love of God. Everything about that is bad. Do not light a shot on fire in a fully lit room. You want the effect? Do it in the dark. It's a beautiful blue flame. Doing it in a lit room means you don't know the shot is on fire, and as you pick it up to move it towards your glass, if you spill onto your hand, you know what's on fire now? You.
I will finish the panel with two thoughts. Number one, here's the charity hat. Let's pass it around again and see if we can move the land. And number two, if you ever want to find the best knowledgeable resource of shots on the face of the earth, the variety of shots, the strongest shots, the weakest shots, the shots you can fake it with. If you don't know what a fake shot is, it's a shot that looks strong and smells strong and may even taste strong, but has the weakest liquor on the face of the earth in it.
Yep.
If you want to know any of those people, I will tell you exactly who to seek out. Any currently working drag queen. No, you laugh, but they are probably the people who A, nightly make their living performing in bars, B, constantly have drinks bought for them that they cannot turn down are fake because the patrons are right there and are their source of income, and C, we're watching out for anybody in that audience who they think is too far gone in that situation. It's funny, I admit it's funny, I will tell you from my experience as a bartender, any actively working drag queen or drag king, anybody who performs in alcohol-heavy environments like that, they are the best resource for the strongest, the weakest, the safest, the most dangerous shots to take.
It's true, it's true. I'm going to have Boozy for 4 of these readings. Very like. We're giving you a share. Thank you very much. And if you feel like it, I wouldn't mind another one.
A fresh cut.
There we go. Sorry, I lost it for a second there. I MC 2 charity, 1 Jake, and 1 me. And
the charity's still here, correct?
Charity's still here. I think we're still here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, so we're here.
No, I thought so. Okay. I used to run an event called Stand Up, Fall Down. Stand Up, Fall Down is a Chicago charity event that professional comedians go out, do their Type 15, a 15-minute set, and then go to the bar. While Boozy is preparing these, I'll tell you this one. So, we had a brand new comedian. This kid was gold. He was so good at what he did, he had a feel for it, and his entire set was semi-off the cuff. He had things to go to, but he had a natural talent for connecting with the audience. It was incredible. And this kid showed up for Stand Up, Fall Down, thank you so much, from one of our other patrons. They said that he would be a good addition to the show. We let him show up, and he killed in his 15-minute set. And at the very end of the set, he said, well, be gentle. I've never drank before. And he had what we call a legal night. Does anyone know the term legal night? It might be a Chicago thing.
Please explain.
A legal night is when you don't drink a single booze under 21 years old. This young man, I believe he himself was about 22, 23, a brilliant comedian, went to the bar, and here's how Stand Up, Fall Down works. You do your set, you go to the bar. Every drink costs full price, but every drink is free for the comedian. You, as the patron, may go to the bar and buy them a drink. That money goes to the charity. That comedian must drink their drink. And at the end of the show, after all the comedians who have went, we go back to the first comedian, and they must do another Type 15 roaring fucking drunk. We usually drop it down to 10 minutes, and we cancel the set if they've gone too far, but it doesn't matter. It's fun. They're all in on the joke, and that's fine. This kid was 100% not in on the joke. He knew it was going to happen. He was not ready. And they bought him 21-year-old scotch. They bought him some of my favorite bottle in this bar, a 50-year barrel-aged tequila. Whoa. By the time he was backstage with me, I'm getting ready to introduce him, and I'm actually thinking, we can't do this. And the kid Fucking bless them. Dan, I can do it. The show wouldn't be as good if I didn't. Let me go up there, and if I can't, pull me. That was very cohesive. You got it. I believe in you. Let's try this. This kid, 23 years old, I've never met them before, might have done the greatest comedic set I have ever seen in my fucking life. As he walked on the stage with a folding chair. All the way to the halfway point of the stage, walking long enough it took a full minute. Put down the chair. Sat in the chair. Reached into his pocket and pulled out an apple. Ate the apple ass first. While staring at a young woman in the front row of the audience. Did not break eye contact for 3 minutes. While eating an entire apple, core and all, ass first. Popped the last piece of the apple into his mouth and started breathing heavily to the point where I thought that it was time to call it. But the kid had control. He obviously had control, especially when he stood up, walked to the edge of the stage where she was sitting right in front of him, reached into his mouth, and pulled out a perfectly tied stem from the apple. Handed it to her and loudly proclaimed, "I don't remember my phone number."
Our charity members will please come up here.
And Jake didn't look you. Did Jake leave?
Jake.
Oh, smart man.
He moves fast.
He does. He's a buddy.
This is for them. Yeah, just got legs asleep.
I get you.
We've done a few toasts, but I'm going to raise one to everyone in the room tonight. That's a traditional one.
Oh, yeah, traditional toast.
May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back.
Nice.
May the warm rain fall soft upon your fields, and until we meet again, may the Lord hold you in the palm of his hand. Good night.
Cheers. Good night. Thank you all for being here. This has been Libation Appreciation. Would you like to see this panel come back?
Yeah!
We're going to keep putting this one in there. Until next time, this is Boozy Badger. Boozy, could you tell them how they can find you?
Twitch.tv/BoozyBadger, over on Twitter at BoozyBadger.com.
Giza, how can they find you?
I'm on Twitter. Well, if I say my DMUTH is my username. First initial, last name, it's super clever, I know.
Scan the back of your badge.
Charity?
Yeah, actually.
You guys just got to have Boozy's favorite bourbon. Anything you would like to say about it?
Actually takes me back to stealing liquor out of a cabinet in about 15.
I want more charity so much! Charity, how can these wonderful furries find you guys?
Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, look for the Pipsqueakery.
And if any of that's tough, come see us tomorrow because we have little info cards with all of that.
My name is Alkali. You can find me on Twitch under Alkali and Zanny, and I would be remiss if I didn't do it. I know you did the good toast, but I have a Chicago toast that's got to happen. If you know it, follow along. Are you ready? Here's to you! Here's to me! Forever friends we shall be! And if we ever disagree, fuck you! Here's to me! Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the convention. Drink responsibly. We will see you guys tomorrow. We're done for the night. Let's keep drinking.
Yeah, we got
Silver got the man, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatomon, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatomon, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.